BBV TV, BBV TV, Black Brothers View. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Black Brothers View right here on YouTube and Facebook. We are so happy to have you with us again live tonight. If you're not watching live, you're watching later. I am your host, DL Giron, and our producer is none other than Mark Peterson, my frat brother. I'm in Atlanta, he's in Virginia, and we're making it happen. And we're so glad to have you with us tonight. Listen, we have an awesome show tonight. Tonight, I call it Ladies' Night. It's Ladies' Night, and the feeling's right. Oh, what a night, okay? It's Ladies' Night tonight. And we have three Black sisters who will be sharing with us tonight their thoughts, their concerns, their perspective. As it said in our theme song, this is a man's world, but it wouldn't mean nothing without a woman or a girl. And so if they are so vital and so valuable to us, we definitely need to hear their voice, right? And we need to hear their concerns and how they're impacted and what are their thoughts. And we get to do that tonight. But before we bring the ladies on, the sisters on, I would like to bring on an awesome Black brother, man of God. I call him my big brother, one of my big brothers, none other than Oscar Coward from all the way from Texas. Y'all give him a hand. Come on in, Oscar.
Amen, amen. I hope everyone is doing well this evening. Thank you for inviting me to co-host with you. I look forward to hearing all the views this evening, and hopefully we can glean from what we hear this evening.
You know what? That's what it's all about, man. Being able to hear and become better, build upon what we receive from each other. So I am honored you were saying earlier that you were honored that I invited you. And I was saying I'm humble that you accepted, all of you, but that you were accepted and that you're able to share. I would like to say to everyone before we bring the ladies on, I don't know if you remember this or not, you should. Years ago, and I'm just sharing this so they'll understand the power of brotherly bond and the impact that we all make in each other's life, far beyond what we think, When I was 15, doctors found a tumor in my head the size of an orange. It grew to the size of a grapefruit. And I had to be transported to Duke University Medical Center. Actually, I was 14 then. I turned 15 while I was in the hospital. You remember, right? I turned 15 while I was in the hospital, and you baked me a cake. And you had the number 1 and 5 on the cake. And do you know I kept them numbers for years? The cake was gone, but I would hold on to those numbers for years. These Oscar numbers. And man, you big brothered me back then. You had compassion for what I was going through, what my family was going through. You were a friend, you were a brother. I didn't have no big brother, And so you didn't realize at that time the impact you was making upon my life. And I just want to publicly be able to say, thank you, man. I've told you this before, and I'm gonna tell you all the time, I thank you so much because that yet is imprinted in my mind, but it's a thread in my testimony, in my story, what you did for me during the time I was going through. And I ain't never had nobody before then or since then bake me a cake and put the numbers on top of it. So I appreciate you, man. You still there, right? You doing okay? Can you hear me? Okay. Having a little problem with the mic.
How about now?
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, okay. Don't touch that down. Don't touch that down. All right. You heard? Did you hear everything I said? We're having a little challenge right there, but we're gonna.
Okay, yeah, I think I got the gist of what you were saying.
Yeah, man. I was just thanking you, man, for everything. Thanking you over the years and how it stayed with me. But what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and bring the ladies on. We're gonna talk some more about that later on. We're gonna bring these black sisters on, these awesome sisters. Um, they were asked, they were invited because I have seen their light. I've seen their support of the black brother and their love for the black brother, you know. But I also have seen their, not only their genuineness, but how authentic they would be, you know, in sharing and trying to build the black brother. And so we're going to be blessed tonight just to have them to share real and raw. Tonight is not about attacking the black brothers. It is about advocating for the black brothers, and it is also about just advising the black brothers, and we can grow from each other. Iron sharpens iron. So first of all, without further ado, would you give it up for our first guest tonight, who has been the only female so far tonight to have taken who have been a part of one of our broadcasts here. And so give it up to none other than Elisa. Come on in, Elisa. Elisa Songbird. How you doing, Elisa?
I'm doing well.
Awesome.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you. You want to greet the people tonight?
Hello, my name is Elisa, and Pastor G loves that songbird on there. But this is Elisa Johnson, born and raised right here in Georgia.
Exactly. And we are so happy to have you here tonight. I want you to definitely just share like you normally would and be a blessing tonight. And we're going to have some fun at the same time. None other than one of my church members at FBC, First Baptist Church, but awesome friend and sister, and her, she's trusted me with her offspring, you know, to train in the Lord and grow in the word of the Lord. And so I am so happy to have her with us tonight. Give it up for Jacelyn D.
Hello, everybody. Hello. I, like Elisa, bring you greetings from the hot ATL, born and bred. Yes, I am a Georgia Peach, and I am proud to say it. But greetings. I'm excited for everyone who's had an opportunity to either jump on the call or will see this in the future. I'm hoping that you find value in what we have to say. So absolutely. Thank you for the invite.
Awesome. Yes, it is my honor to have you here. This lady here, she wears so many different hats. She has helped me with producing things and directing and writing and just coordinating things. And she is just awesome. She's also trusted me with her young offspring, and as we would try to just train them in the way that God would have for them to come up. And she's just awesome in more than one way, just like the other ladies. And so tonight we bring her in as the woman that she is, and that is Queen Radiance.
Hey everyone, I myself am from Atlanta, Georgia as well, born and raised. Well, I was born in Atlanta, raised in Decatur. But hey. I'm happy to be here, bring some positivity, life into the men of our community.
Man, amen. I'm so glad to have you here. Like I said, I'm so honored and grateful that all of you are here. Listen, y'all, listen. The first thing I want you all to do,
put out your own shit.
That goes a little bit with introducing yourself.
What is this?
And help us to.
What is that? That's weed? Yeah. Oh, you got weed.
Okay, I'm getting some feedback that helps me help everybody understand you just a little bit. They always say if you really want to know somebody, take a listen to their playlist. Look at their playlist. If you want to know where a person's heart is, take a look at their bank statements and stuff. So, ladies, sisters, please tell me a song, the title of a song that best reflects you or depicts your mindset. It reflects you or depicts your mindset. Jason, give me a song. What's your song?
I'll tell you, I have a playlist that I play to set my mood and tone for the day. Mm-hmm. And this gentleman is on the playlist. He goes by the name of Carl Carlton. Mm-hmm. And the song is Bad Mama Jamma. Every day.
Bad Mama
Jamma. Because he doesn't just simply talk about the physique of the woman, but he talks about how she carries herself. He talks about, just how she looks, her presence, her aura, what she brings. And so just embracing that I'm bad.
Right.
In all my flaws, but I'm still a bad mama jamma. So I'm the perfect imperfection. So that has to be played every day.
I love it. Bad mama jamma. And I like how you say you internalizing how you put it a part of your day-to-day journey to help you move along. Elisa, the songbird herself, what is that song?
There's not something. Well, I don't really have a song that I play all the time. I just like music, period.
No. Not that you play all the time. If I were to sing a
song, first thing
that reflects you, that depicts the kind of woman you are, or who you are, or your mindset. Yeah. There's a song that says,
I don't know.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna say she's a brick house. that was what I think I saw you.
Oh Lord, something probably would.
I think I saw you jamming to that one time. So what would be? Well,
somebody probably would say that.
So what would be your song?
Say what, Pastor?
What would be your song? You don't have one?
I really don't. I never thought about that.
Okay.
I never really thought about a song that's me.
Okay.
I never really did.
Okay. The mine would be living my life.
Let me think about that.
Yeah, mine is living my life like it's golden. That depicts me. That reflects me. It pumps me up, but it also represents my mindset, and me. If somebody would say, yeah, that's me. So Queen, what would be your song? What song reflects you?
Okay, so the song that will reflect me, just personality overall, is Lecrae, I'll Find You. It's a song that's basically about seeking out those that are in dark places and being a light for them. So that's something that I just naturally do. So that's something. But a song that I listen to now mostly, which is a representation of the person I want to become, is the last song played in the movie Harriet when the credits are rolling, Stand Up.
Okay.
Song, for whatever reason, I listen to it every morning. I'm actually in a group where we're doing a dance routine, so I created a whole little routine for it and everything, but it speaks to me and the person I want to become.
Okay. I like that. I like to hear things like this too, because sometimes, like I was telling Jason earlier, when I'm watching the Oscars or those Grammys or something, that's my first time hearing about that movie or that song, and it introduces it to me, as something I can add to me. Now listen, the way we do things here is everybody is involved, the co-host and the guests. What we're about to do right now, before we get deep, and we're gonna get deep, but right before we go there, because one of the first things I want to ask you is what stresses you when you think about the Black man, and then what impresses you when you think about the Black brother. Now, it could be that brother in particular, or it could be what, from a general standpoint, what they have to deal with, or either what you've seen, okay? So before we go deep into that, we always have an icebreaker. And so with the icebreaker, this icebreaker is called, where is that brother from? Where is that brother from? Okay, so what I'm gonna do, Oscar, you are in this as well. Where is that brother from? And listen, if you know the answer, I ask somebody else. Question I ask somebody else. Do not answer. All right. The first person who gives 3 points, or whoever has the most points, Once I name all these black brothers, then you tell me, okay? So I'm going to name to you a black brother, young or old. And when you are to tell me what show he was a part of, okay? What show he was on. So this first one goes to Jason. Jason Theo Huxtable.
He belonged to the Cosby Show. He was a part of the Huxtable family.
The Cosby Show. You got 1 point, girl. All right.
Ding,
okay.
ding, ding, ding. Okay.
All right. Elisa, where's that brother from? Urkel.
The Steve Urkel Show.
Mom.
Oh, Jesus, wait a minute. Hold on.
No,
wait
Mom,
a minute.
Don't worry.
That's Steve Urkel Show. How many minutes I get?
No, you already gave your answer, Mom. Okay, it's okay though.
You know what?
It's okay.
Sing your moment. Sing your moment. All I can see is his pulled up to his.
Listen.
What? I told you.
Listen. It's Family Matters.
That's it.
All right.
Oh,
okay. Queen, you go. Carlton Banks.
The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yes. Okay. Good. All right. Jason Michael Evans.
Michael Evans played in the barbershop. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the wrong Michael. That's the Uber kid. I apologize. Michael Evans played in Good Times.
Ooh, you better be good. You kept talking.
Look, I apologize. I was thinking of the Michael with the really pretty eyes. I'm sorry. I apologize.
You said with the really pretty eyes. Okay. All right. So you got 2, Jason. Y'all help me keep this going. All right. Okay. So Elisa, these are 2 brothers, Arnold and Willis. Where are these black brothers from?
See, I remember them. I just don't remember the show. I don't remember.
Okay. All right.
I remember them with the guy who adopted him, but I can't think of the name of the show.
Okay. Well, I got to give him 2 questions since I left him out and I told him he was a part of it. Oscar, Arnold, and Willis.
Okay.
Oscar, where Arnold and Willis from? Where these brothers from? Is Oscar with us? Okay.
Different strokes. Did you get me?
No, I didn't. I'm not hearing you. What did he say?
Different strokes.
Different strokes. You got it, man. You got it. So now I got to give you your second question, and your second one is, where is this brother from? Rerun. Three seconds.
What's happening?
What happening? Okay, yeah. All right.
What's happening?
That's right. Queen, this is yours. This your second. This is your third one, Queen. Lionel.
The Jeffersons.
Oh yeah, that's right. Ugh.
Yes, you got it.
Awful.
And you got all 3 of yours. Jason.
That was only 2. That was only my second one.
That was your second one? I thought you had 3. Okay.
I appreciate you cheating for me, but I'm gonna be honest on here.
She ain't cheating, y'all. Oh, so now it's Jason. Oh, she already did 2. Jason, your third one is, where is that brother? Lamont. Dummy.
Honey, he from Sanford and Son, baby.
Yeah. And your third one, let me give her. I'm gonna give Elisa your third one.
Give me an easy one.
Dwayne Wayne.
I don't remember that one either. I know it was a college. I'm having a moment tonight.
Okay.
Oh God, I know it was college.
Okay. So
Dwayne Wayne and Whitley Gilbert and
but where they from? Where he from? Okay.
I do not remember the name of the college.
Okay, so moving on to Oscar. Oscar, do you know?
Give me a hint.
We done moved on. Dwayne Wayne, where?
A different world.
A different
different world.
There go your hand. There go your hand, Elisa. All right. So Oscar got his 3. You got your 3. All right.
Oh
now,
my! I
now,
struck out.
now that's okay though. But listen. So now, Queen, cockroach. Cockroach, Queen.
I heard you.
3 seconds, Queen.
No, I don't remember the name.
Watch this. Watch this though. I'm gonna show you who know it. Jason, cockroach.
The Cosby Show, of course. Come on. You knew that, Queen. You knew that. That was Theo's best friend.
I could not pin it. I'm like cockroach. I know the name. I just couldn't pin it.
That's what it was. You just couldn't quite put it together. But that's what it was.
Thank you. I appreciate the assist, my sister.
Absolutely. Tenfold. I'm here with you.
Thank
All
you.
right, y'all. I appreciate that. That's our little icebreaker. That's a little game there, right? Game show. Okay, so it stresses you and what impresses you when you think about the Black brother. And I want to go alphabetical order with Elisa first. When you think about the Black brother in today's society, whether it's a particular brother or just generally, you know, what stresses you about the Black brothers today?
First thing comes to mind that stresses me is how some of them get angry so quick and want to kill. That's what stresses me. What impresses me is when I see father with his children. Those are the first 2 things that come on. So the anger some men have, but then that love I see with children when it's just them and the children or the child.
Okay. Wow. I know many times as my son was growing up, when I would be with my son, we would get so many applause from, men and women, old people, young people, you know, they were just, it was just unbelievable sight to them, you know. Here I was just doing what I had to do and what I wanted to do. But for them, it was like they never seen it or they don't see it often enough. And so for you to say that, it piggybacks to that. But then again, when I would see another father with his kids, you know, I would always applaud him, you know. And I understand when you say angry, gets angry fast, do you care to elaborate on that to help some brother?
When I say, how can I say it? Like, say, for instance, road rage. I know people do things, but it's like just what I've heard on the news. Just the flip of a finger, they get enraged and want to kill. That's my thing. I guess to go that hard to want to kill because of road rage.
Right.
That concerns me.
Right. That you can get to that level. I got you. Jason.
Because it's more like the acting and kind of responding, kind of just look at the situation as, I don't think it's that serious, but for some reason they really, I don't know if it's a disrespect to them, when people flip them off or get in front of them. I don't know, but that really concerns me.
That's good. Somebody need to hear that. And that's real. And I always tell people, first of all, here is where, well, I'm talking about the Black brother, but it's anybody who comes on, is where your perspective is respected. You know, your view is valued, and we pray for transformation through communication. And so it's important to share because it could shine a light on somebody where they are, what they've heard before. Jason, what stresses you when you think about the Black brother?
I think I am a single woman raising a Black king. And one thing that stresses me as a mother, or as a parent, when I'm looking to find imagery of other men for my children to look up to, and outside of those that he already knows of influence, but just to see what I see in a lot of men is a lack of confidence. And when I say a lack of confidence, we always, when we think about things that's personal to ourselves, we personalize things when we're talking about self-improvement. And these are the things, the attributes that I need to work on. Well, the meaning of confidence is to confide, to withhold, to trust. And what I find is that a lot of men, Black men in particular, have lost confidence over time because they don't believe in themselves. They lack the confidence to trust themselves. And trusting yourself, it trickles down to so many decisions that you're to make. And I see that a lot. I see that in the verbiage that some men utilize, the very doubtful verbiage. I see it in their walk, they're not independent thinkers. So there are some of them that tend to just kind of mesh in and would rather mesh in instead of standing out. And so what I tell my son all the time is that keep those promises to yourself. If you say to yourself, Mommy, I'm going to get up at 7 and I'm going to take the dog out and I'm going to make sure that he's straight and he eats before I get ready for school, do that. Because what happens is over time, when you break promises to yourself, you lose confidence in your ability to make decisions and you lose confidence in your ability to trust yourself. And that ultimately affects your confidence and how you believe in who you are and the decisions that you're able to make. So that is something that, that stresses me. One thing that I applaud Black men is their resilience. Malcolm X once said that the most disrespected human being is the Black woman. But when I think of, my son, and I think of other Black men who are immediately, included myself, who are immediately ostracized by how I look. I don't even have to open up my mouth. I'm immediately relegated to this area. That resilience, that tough skin, that ability to fall and get back up. And even if it's not the decision that is going to set you up for the next move, but the fact that you got up, I see that and I admire that. So that will be my two.
I like that. It's called the bounce back brother, bounce back sister as well, but the bounce back, the ability to be able to come back after all, and as a Black people, just as a Black people, I think that's admired from others when they look at us. That out of all we've been through, the way we've been looked upon, slavery and everything, and that we still have that tenacity, that ability to get back up. It's something called the wibble wobble, and it's weighted at the bottom, and if you knock it, it'll bounce right back up, And I keep that imprint, in my mind many times. But we're so naturally coming back by the grace of God, bouncing back, that we don't realize how profound it really is. So thank you for that. Thank you for that, though. And thank you for what you're doing with your young king, and that you realize that he is a young king. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Queen, what stresses you and what impresses you about the Black brothers?
So what stresses me is kind of a
Hold a minute. Let me drink first. Woo! I be hot up in here, y'all.
Really? Okay, so it is a kind of almost a combination of the first two ladies. It's it's like they are not aware of their place in this world. So they're here, they're existing, but I get stressed because I talk to so many young Black men and some older Black men they just don't know. They're like, I'm just, they're focused on probably even making they're not looking for purpose. They're just looking for a way to survive in this world. They're not looking for the actual purpose of them breathing. So that's something that stresses me.
Wow.
What impresses me is the hustle of the Black man. I mean, I know so many that every Black man around me that I know hustles in several categories, whether it's hustling for their kids, hustling for their family, or just, hustling to make it in the life. And that's why for me, it's crazy because it's like, you got so much in you. How could you not seek your purpose, you know? So, but the ability for a Black man to just make it happen, you know what I mean? It's amazing to me. But my first one was going to be what Elisa said, as far as the father. Black men get a bad rep for not being in their kids' lives, but I know so many good, positive, strong men that are actively in their children's life. And so I want to double up on that one, because that's a very important thing that I think Black men need to know, that we see them being fathers, we see them trying, and we appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you. And I want to say this to y'all too, is that, and like I may mention earlier about the kind of women that you all are, and that's why we have you on here. I know that you're loving and you supportive women, and everybody can discern that, receive that just now by the way you spoke. Understand that your voice is valuable. I think about George Floyd and how he called for his mother. And I was thinking that his mother was still alive, before I knew everything. And he called for his mother. And the touch of a woman, a Black woman who is loving, who's concerned and caring, is so important. Your voice is so important. I would say this from a brother standpoint. Some brothers, we often would say it's the way in which the woman may share it at a particular time, But see, that's why you're here tonight, is because you can understand her way when you understand her thoughts, and you can probably appreciate her way, or take it from a different perspective when you hear her thoughts behind her emotions, and everything. And we cannot make it in this world without y'all. We cannot. Have mercy. Jesus, I can't think of so much. If it wasn't for Black women in my life, I do not. I'm telling you, I appreciate y'all so much. And I salute you tonight. This is ladies' night and bringing light to the brother. All right, so I appreciate y'all with that one. Okay, we're gonna move on to our next one, unless somebody has something they wanted to add to that. And co-host, at any particular time you feel you want to add something or say something, please definitely do so. Okay. So we're all believers. We understand Joel 22:28 says, declare a thing and it shall be established. We've all probably grew up and watched a show called I Dream of what?
Genie,
yeah. Listen, I Dream of Genie. She'd do like she got her little bottle and she go, master, whatever. And then Bewitched, and she just did, little twinkle. So if you could be a genie, or if you could declare something out of your mouth that would make life better for the Black brothers, Jason, and what would it be? If you could declare something, if you could be a genie and you could just say one thing, what would it be to make life better for the Black brother?
I believe, oh man, that's hard. Because I believe in teaching a man how to fish, and or a woman, it doesn't matter, but I believe in fishing for yourself. That's a hard one. When I think of things, it's always going to be personal. It's always going to refer back to that individual, to them. I think what I would tell them, if I could wish if I guess if
let me help you with that a little bit. Just for the Black brothers as a whole, that if you could just say something out of your mouth, this is what I wish for the Black brothers. What would that thing be that would make their life better?
So this is what I would say.
Okay.
It is, you deserve it. And when I say you deserve it, you deserve love, you deserve whatever your heart desires, you deserve the dreams that you are worthy enough. Like, you deserve it. It's not, because someone ordained you, but it's already in you. You are already great. You deserve it. And I think if they would embrace that, they would believe it, and then the action would follow, the behavior will follow. But that's the one thing that I would say to encourage the spirit of the Black man, because they have everything that they need, but their spirit needs mending. And so I would speak to the spirit man and just encourage the spirit, because once you do that, they will be empowered with the information that's already in them and the resources that surround them to create whatever it is. So
Wow.
that's
Wow. That goes back to what you said earlier. So you would wish that all Black men would walk the earth with confidence. Just be encouraged and walk the earth with confidence, right? That's what you're pretty much saying.
absolutely.
I got you. And that is, and to say, to speak to that, that is something, and Oscar, you could speak to this too. Black men have been knocked down and torn down so many times in so many different areas of their life, and sometimes from the closest ones to them, and those same ones that tear them down. When I say close ones to them, it could be their DNA, or it could be someone they connected with, that they've gotten to a place that either they're afraid of rejection, or they don't want to get beat down no more, or whatever the case may be, and all of this impacts that confidence as to whether I'm confident enough, for the next journey. And they may not have enough people, you said this earlier, pouring into their life. So when they're becoming empty, or when they're becoming beaten, who's that good Samaritan to pick them up and pour in their life? And so this is why brothers have got to have each other for that. But many of you sisters add to that a whole lot. Okay, so going on to Elisa. If one thing, if you could speak it, if you could wish, you could be a genie and you say, for the Black brother, what would it be? To make his life better.
To know his worth. Because God has allowed him to be here, there is a purpose for him. And I feel he knows his worth. No matter what anybody says against him, it will not offend him, because he knows who he is. That's what I would speak, that knows his worth.
Wow.
All facts.
That is powerful.
And I tell my daughter that, because a lot of times she feels she needs to defend herself. And my prayer, Lord, let her know her worth, so that whoever says anything, it will not bother her, because she knows who she is. And I want that of the Black man. God created man first, so he is a leader. And I just want a man to know that, no matter what nobody said.
Yeah. And one of the things in Peter I try to share with young people all the time, especially young guys, is to know the word of God says you are a chosen generation. You are a royal priesthood. You are a holy nation. And yes, you're a peculiar people. You're going to be peculiar. You're going to be different. You were created that way. And that peculiarity that's not understood and that's not respected gets hidden sometimes, or becomes muted because they want to fit in and be accepted, and without realizing that peculiarity is what's is your unique stamp, but understanding who you are, that lines so much with what what she said as it relates to confidence, and understanding your worth. I believe that it starts in the home, and then I believe that the church has a responsibility to layer upon that. And it's good to know that you create an environment for them. This is before the school, that you've created a village for them that imparts into them, reminds them of their worth, reminds them of what is expected of them because of who they already are, and then, put them in environments like school and stuff, make sure you're connected, make sure that teacher know who they are from that aspect and what you're, imparting to them. And so this is that sweat that we have to do sometimes. We can't just birth them and put them out there and expect it, and this is the labor that comes with it to, like you said, you tell your daughter, understand your worth, confidence and worth. So queen, that one thing, if you could say, boosh, what would it be for the Black brother to make his life better?
For me, I look at things and I say, I would wish for them to just be seen as human. A lot of time, Black people are not given the ability to be human. So Black men, especially, they're not allowed to feel their emotions or express their emotions, or they're not taught how to live in a world with other people and be human, because they're told by society that they're not humane. So for me, it would be just for the world, society, to see them as human and allow them to live as a human.
As a human being. Wow. Wow. Yeah, that's why we're going on. That's why we've had so much going on with Black Lives Matter, and people are constantly pushing that because they just feel like they're being treated, well, we're actually being treated inhumanely, and so that speaks volumes. Wow, look at these things that's coming from you all, from women, our Black sisters, to be treated as a human, to walk in confidence, to know your worth. Now, here's the question before our co-host takes you into our next segment, in a game form, but at the same time, talking about the brothers, looking at some brothers. You said to be treated human. Jason, you said confidence. And Elisa, you said know your worth. Can each one of you tell me one guy that's in your life that fits that he walks in confidence? One guy that you know in your life who knows his worth. He knows his worth. And we're gonna do something with that humor. He
understands.
No. Say it again.
He understands his humanity.
I love that. Yeah. So I told you she be working with me all the time with this stuff. I would never won't be trying to do life without her. I'll call her in a minute. So who, either one of you, well, Elisa, you first. Who do you know in your life? What male do you know in your life that you see when you look at him, you see he knows his worth? You feel you a Black male that you've seen at a distance, but if you know someone up close.
I would say my pastor does. It might be because he's a leader, but in my immediate circle, I can't really think of someone immediately just knows who they are without doubt.
They know their worth. Okay.
Right.
Gotcha. Jason, confidence. That's your word.
Confidence is absolutely my word. I tell you, one person that comes immediately to mind is Pastor Mr. Daryl Gidron. Is absolutely one man that comes to mind when I speak of confidence. And let me express why. It takes courage to be who you are. especially in a world where, you know, there's duplications of the same spirit. It, you know, it takes courage to step out and say, this is what I was called to do, and be transparent about it, and be so vulnerable that you leave yourself open to interpretations and perceptions of other people and judgments of other people. It takes courage, and to walk in that confidence, because we always think about confidence, you know, just as a characteristic of you know, of your character, an attribute of your character. But to be confident is, like I said, to be able to trust yourself and be able to trust that if no one is on this call, to be able to trust yourself that if no one hears that you have a message that must be delivered and your assignment is what it is. And so I say to you, you are absolutely a man, because I'm gonna tell you, I protect my baby spirit. You know that I'm a mama bear about my child. Yeah. And I don't let everyone around my son, because as a parent, I'm responsible for protecting his spirit. Mm-hmm. And I trust you. I trust your decision-making ability. I trust the things that you say. I trust you being around my son. That in itself is that I can absolutely close my eyes and know that if my son is with you, he's safe. That is not something that I take lightly. It's not something that I take for granted. It's not something that you just comes by, you know. So, you know, when I think, and I'm not saying this to gas you up, I'm really not. I'm sharing this because I'm sharing this with your spirit. You know, that this is, when I think of confidence, you're the first person that comes to mind. So that's me. That's what I think. You know?
Yes. Yes. Wow. Yes. I haven't known Pastor G long, but you are right, my sister. He has courage. He gets out there. Yes.
Yes.
I agree.
Without any reservation.
You know his work. Yes.
He knows who he is. He knows who he is. He knows who he's called to be. Walks in it. And that's something to be admired and to be, you know, to be revered and to be respected. And that's something, you know, that when I think, you know, that my child, and he knows, I love my son. I love my son. And the time where men are not men, you know, and I'm not saying, I'm just saying men are not men. And when you see a man, you want him to be around him. You need him to be around him. So I thank you for just simply being who you are.
Yes, that is true. You are speaking all truth.
Yes.
If I can, as the co-host, can everyone hear me? I concur with all of you are saying, but from my standpoint, you're spot on. I saw that in him as a young man when he was going back and forth to Duke University Hospital, and still was determined to do what thus saith the Lord. Whether it was I had to get a magnifying glass to read this, I was going to do what thus saith the Lord. And he said I inspired him, but he actually inspired me. You know, I was a young Marine running around everywhere, and God happened to bring our paths across at a time that was crucial in his life. And what you all see now is a manifestation of many years prior to that. Many years of going on in spite of. So I just want to say you all are spot on that right there. I'm gonna give it back to you there, Bishop.
Bless you, man. Bless you. Bless all of y'all. I'm trying to breathe in such a way so I would not start crying over here and then it turns into something else. That was not expected. But I would say this, that God is so purposeful that he will pour into you what you need Sometimes at a time when you are getting ready to make another press, you know, when you need to make another push, you know, and so that's what this is. That's what this is. This will be an episode I tune into if I need to. Oh wow, that y'all, I'm humbled. All I can say is to God be the glory, and I can also say I thank God for Oscar being here, who's seen me, you know me from years ago, you know, and to be able to speak to that, to be able to hear it while I'm yet living, to be able to be encouraged by it. Because for me, I'm humbled and I'm only encouraged the more. But I know one thing: when I have those moments, I'm gonna remember somebody believes in my confidence, and I'm quick keep
Amen.
on pushing, and the uniqueness,
Amen.
you know. And that's the thing, Jason. All her words, man. It was just like when you know you're gonna be ostracized and picked at and picked on, and somebody, you know, why you doing it that way, and why? But you just doing the you that you know to do. If you did anything else, you would be imitating somebody else.
Amen.
You know. So
Absolutely.
anyway, thank you all. Okay. Let's move on. I don't even know how to okay. Queen, please come on and help us, Queen.
Yes,
What are we talking about?
Oh, you need my assistance?
No, Queen.
I got you. You want me to name someone that I know that is an example of being humanity?
Yeah, and treating people like they're human. You see that in them.
Right.
They personify that example of what you're hoping for.
Honestly, I would say my dad. My dad is the person that taught me how to see people as people. And he himself is aware that he is human. So he allows himself to feel, he allows himself to be. And with everything that goes on in the world, there's been moments that stuff has happened around my dad, and the way he maneuvers it and handles it, it's like you are really as an adult thinking back on it. I'm like, you're really in tune with just humanity in general, like to relate to a person just on the simple fact of being human and having emotions.
Right. You know, and that's good that you were able to see that with your dad, and as you grow older, have a different and a greater appreciation for it.
Right.
As raising Shabak, and I've heard other men say this too. I was always thinking about it. I still to this day have to think about it. How I respond to certain things, how I treat certain people, you
Yes.
know, because I am his example. And it goes to that old saying, don't do what they used to say, don't do what I do,
Don't
but
do what I do, do what I say.
Right. No, that's hogwash.
Exactly.
Because I might forget what you said,
Right.
but I'm gonna remember what I saw.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, and so and something Maya Angelou said, speaking of Black women pointing to guys, she said that people may forget what you said or forget what you did, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. You know, and that's what you're speaking of as far as treating people like humanity, you know, like they're human. I remember a couple of years ago when I had an opportunity to work with Hosea Feed the Hungry, and we went in our regular clothes. This was some years when they had a Turner Field, and we had I was a server, and I remember this one big pan they gave me, and they had different desserts on there, you know. And I'm going, and I wanted to make sure those homeless people felt like kings and queens. And I said, here you go, ma'am. Here you go, sir. Which one you want? What you want? You know, I'm just talking to them, making them smile, you know, trying to. And then one guy said, I want that, but I also want that red. I said, listen, it's a lot of cake. You can have both. and them and how they respond. You know, but something my dad said, you know, he would always say, you know, never look down on a man. That was a sermon that I preached years ago, and he was saying that was his best sermon I ever preached. Was it the Good Samaritan? Don't look down on a man was the title of it. But he always would talk about you never know who in the street could help you. Don't look down on nobody. You never know who could really help you in life, you know. And so it just behooves us to treat everybody, going back to what, kindergarten? Do unto others as you would have others do unto you. And we don't see that enough, but I'm glad that you were able to say that you saw it first in your home. Wow, this is rich, y'all. This is so rich. The just to know that from you all's eyes, you know, because we can look at you, right? And we can say you're beautiful, you're gorgeous, and all of this stuff, you know, and we can just, you know, you're all glammed up and everything, right? But then how often does the woman get a chance to speak and beyond all the glamour you see or whatever, or the made up, just to share you her thoughts, you know, or with those eyes, how she see you, you know, or what she see for you, or what she want to see for you. All right. So, speaking of seeing, now it's time for the co-host to come on and talk about the comparison. I'm gonna let him handle it. Co-host Oscar Coward, go ahead.
Amen. Amen. First of all, I'd like to say I really enjoy the conversation that I'm hearing this evening from the ladies. Good insight. I'll just share just briefly with myself. Uh, I was that brother that had to have that moment in life, and it was a paradigm shift for me. I grew up with my mother. I was coming from a single family home, and mom could teach me how to survive, and she couldn't teach me how to be a man. And throughout my walk in this life, uh, I had to come to grips with that. So I had to have a moment with God and just ask Him, tell Him if you don't show me how to be a son, a father, you know, a brother, I'm gonna be lost in this world. And that moment was my paradigm shift. And in that moment, he took me to the book. He took me to the Bible, and if and just took me scripture by scripture, line by line. Instead, if you do these things, then you will understand my plan. You can't depend on society to tell you what a man is because they don't know. You can't expect people to affirm you being a man because they don't really know. The only way we're going to find out is if you get in this book and hear what I'm saying to you by the Spirit. And it was at that moment that was my paradigm shift in my life. And yeah, people gonna say you're too far to the left, you're too far to the right. But if you just do what I say do, it'll all come out in the wash. And it was in that moment where it didn't matter to me what the world said about me or how they saw me. It only mattered to me how my father saw me. And as long as I was walking in lockstep with him by his spirit, I was I was good whether I was with 100 people or whether I was by myself. I was still good. And he gave me that peace. So I share with brothers, I share with brothers a lot. I tell them, don't go no place else but to the word to affirm who you are. Because that's where you're going to find out. Start from Genesis and work your way to Revelations. And in that, you will find who you are. You'll find yourself in there and you will know who you're supposed to be. Then you don't have to worry about folks' opinion about who you are. Now let's get on into the next segment. I'm done with that.
All right.
We're going to talk about movies.
That was
We're
some
going
good
to talk
stuff
about
there.
movies.
All right.
Sisters, give me a movie that depicts a positive uh, male and why. And then I want you to come back because I used up a lot of time. I want you to come back and give me a movie that negatively depicts a male figure and why? Wiggin,
Elisa.
can everybody hear me?
Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm trying to think of that movie.
Did
Trying to
you hear
think
the
of that
question?
movie.
Well, I didn't
Think of
know
that
who was
movie.
going. Who's going first?
Elisa, you can go first.
Okay. Daddy's Little Girls. Okay.
That's a good.
And
Okay, and why?
and a bad one, I guess, would be Boys in the Hood.
Okay, and why on each one of those?
Now, Daddy's Little Girls. Oh, Daddy was for them babies. I like that. I mentioned earlier, they're really impressing their father and their children. So, but Boys in the Hood, it just make us seem so hood when we're not all like that,
Right.
So, and I
Amen.
guess getting to the point where I'm glad to see our Black actors doing better things besides that all the time, but that just kind of makes us look bad. I don't like all that hood stuff
Amen.
going on. Yeah,
Amen.
that would be the negative side.
I like the way she said that.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
All our men are not hood, okay?
That's
All
right.
right. All right. Who wants to go next?
I'll go next. I'll go next. And
Amen.
my movie is actually one in the same because you asked for a positive depiction and a negative depiction.
Mhm.
And so the movie that I'm going to say is Diary of a Mad Black Woman.
Mm.
And I chose that movie for many
Interesting. Okay.
different facets. But just from the complexity of the relationship, I myself am a domestic violence survivor. And so just understanding, that men have the ability to maintain self-control, but they choose when to activate that ability. And then also just showing that there is love when you open yourself up to the possibility of being loved once you realize that you must love yourself first. And so that will be my movie. I love Tyler Perry. He'd be the first to say it. I love him, honey. He is in the A. I love him. But one movie
Amen.
the complexity of both.
Wow. Wow.
Amen.
That's
Amen.
good.
That's
I like
good.
that.
That's good.
Yes, indeed. Okay. All right. You up, Queen?
All right. For me, a movie that depicts good, and I'm choosing this movie because it shows multifaceted sides of a good man, and it's Black Panther. Because even like most of the Black men in there, they had those great qualities and those things about them that to me just personifies a man, which provide, protect, and profess. They all in their own, they had purpose. They all were driven by something. And although, one chose violence as his response, it his way of going about it was not good. However, if you look at his actual core of the things that he was saying that drove him there, you can see the good. And you can see the good in Black Panther, of course. And my favorite person in it is M'Baku. He's not in the movie the most, but just that ability to, these are my people and I stand for them and I'm gonna fight for them. Like it was just positive role models and throughout that I think you could take different things from each person. You know, negative. Let me see. Who would I could say Baby Boy maybe, and it was just like manhood in it. Like it was just the inability to grow up. It was like refusing to grow up.
Part of one of the things that get on y'all nerves. Yeah, yeah, it's part of one of the things that get on y'all nerves.
Yeah.
Can't get it.
He didn't even realize he wasn't together. That's the problem.
Right,
Mm.
right.
He actually thought he was good. He was living the life, and he was the one on point.
Amen.
Wow. Wow.
Good.
That's some good stuff there.
That's good.
That's some good.
That's good.
You was about to say
Amen.
something, Oscar? What did they call him in Baby Boy? What did they call him?
It's
When
Jody, baby. Jody.
But what was it? But when they called him, how did they reference him? How did they call him?
What you mean?
Huh?
I don't.
Did they call him Jody or did they call him Baby Boy?
No, they called him Jody.
They called him
Jody.
Jody.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Baby Boy just came from the narration of it, the way they narrated it.
Right. Yeah.
Where Baby Boy came from. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Unless you're talking about that scene where
Can't hear you. Okay, I can't hear you. I know you started off by saying unless we're talking about that particular scene, but
this, I'm sorry, can you hear me now?
we can hear you now, Verizon.
Yeah, and I'm talking about that scene where they were talking about he was trying to get back at him, and I'm trying to think of his name. Called him Baby Boy. Baby Boy, what you gonna do? And they were supposed to go and get Snoop or whatever the case was in that scene, and he called him Baby Boy when they was talking about that.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That is right. Right. I love all the movies y'all made mention of. And one thing, like I've said before, many times there are people who never heard of a movie or they never watched a movie, but then somebody tell you something, hey, this depicts men in this light or Black brothers in this light or whatever. Hopefully we help someone to go take a look at that, because believe it or not, life imitates what? Art. You know that. Queen, life imitates art. And so many times what we actually see in life is what is out there in art, in somebody's music, on somebody's screen. And we got a lot of imitators, And so a lot of people who didn't have no one in the home, like you said, Oscar, and so they're finding something that they're closely connected to, and they're letting that be their preacher, their mentor, without even knowing it, but because it's association, all right, our last two quick segments for tonight. This has really been good. This has been a different kind of format, the way we've done it, as opposed to that long, this conversation or whatever. Because I wanted to get from you all, get feedback from different perspectives, and also be able to, I just like the way the Lord led me tonight to be able to, for this format. Okay, so one word, putting it in the game form, but it's serious. Now it's time to advise the brother. It's time to give some advice to the brother. All right. So one word, I'm going to say one word. I'm going to give you a word, and you tell me what would be that advice that you would give to that brother who walks in those shoes. Y'all ready? Y'all ready?
Let's go.
So listen now. 10 words or less.
You want all three of us to answer, or just one? No, you're gonna call us out.
I'm gonna call your name with your particular word, with
Gotcha.
your particular guy, but 10 words or less. So, Jason, what advice would you give to the Black brother who is just recently out of jail? Remember, everything is about helping the Black brother go live a better life, right? A better life. So this brother who just got out of jail, what would be your 10 words or less advice to him to help him live a better life? And don't say nothing you said already.
Info. The first thing I would tell him to do is go learn the new rules of money and learn how to trade in the foreign exchange, the digital market, learn the new rules of money. Because I can guarantee the rules that applied when he went in are not the rules that are applicable in the same format right now. So you don't need a degree. You don't need a certificate. You don't need intellect, to be honest. If I'm honest about it, you need to just learn a new skill. And that skill is learning how to work the new rules of money.
Wow, learn the new rules of money. All right, all right. That's good. That's deep. We'll have to talk about that again later. But that's deep. I've been talking to somebody recently, a couple of bros recently, about making investing into some stock. And so that's something we'll definitely talk about later. If y'all know anything about it, if y'all invested in some stock, let me know if you've seen some, but we've got to invest, we got to invest. And so I like that. So your brother, Queen, is the brother who is gay. The gay brother, or the brother who falls under LGBTQ. I think I got it right. The brother who falls under that. What would your advice be to him today? 10 words or less as he go forth. From to go forth and live a better life. What would your advice be? I know that may be a hard one. And I want to say hard one because
you're still you're still valuable. Your sexual preference or your sexual preference does not take away from who you are. So I would tell them you're still valuable. Don't let anyone in society make you feel like you don't belong, because you still are a part of the community and you're valuable to the community.
Okay. Elisa, what would you say, 10 words or less, to that brother who is divorced and apart from his kids, or dealing with drama with the kids? That brother who is divorced or separated and he's dealing with baby mama drama with the kids. What would you say to that brother? What would your advice be? 10 words or less.
Okay, he's divorced and he's having drama.
Baby mama drama. What you gonna say to him? So when he leave your presence, he can go live a better life because of what you told him.
First, with the mom, don't take nothing personal. Don't take it personal. Because a lot of times we take things personal, it upsets us.
You never had no
and be
good.
The best. Well, yeah, don't take it personal. Don't take it personal.
You ain't never been good for nothing.
Wait a minute. Look, don't take it personal. On the serious note, because I'm divorced, but the father had any drama for me. So take it personal. And be patient. Be patient. Because it takes some patience dealing with a woman with drama. But don't take it personal. Because I believe this is me. I believe he's going to be a good dad. But yeah, don't take it personal and just be patient.
Now, wow. That to get to that place, going back to what you said, to know your worth enough that you don't.
Yes.
When you know you're worth enough and you have confidence in yourself and you're going to treat people human anyway, whatever they say to you, you have to put all that stuff y'all said together. You're gonna stand there. You're gonna, I'm not taking this personal. I hear you, but it's gonna, and it takes a lot. But my brother said it all, and that is when you are deeply rooted in the Word of God, and when you have trained your kids, like Jason, making sure he's one of my junior leaders in church, right? And ready. Where does readiness come from? He sees it. You know what I'm saying? It's poured into him. He sees it. Dorothy, Queen's daughter in my ministry. The readiness comes because of what they're already seeing, and so they're being taught their value, and so those things gonna be said and it will hurt you, whatever like that, but to be able to press on, their readiness is coming because they're already rooted in the Word. They're being rooted in the Word early, and you cannot withstand nothing. This stuff, people are cruel out here. They call this the cancel society. Cancel culture now. Instead of counsel, they want to cancel you. And so, but when you're rooted in the Word, and when you have a relationship with God, because see, people would lift you up one day, and that same person will tear you down the next day. And you just or they'll smile in your face. That's why they got that song called Backstabbers. Smile in your face. Yeah, all the time, stab you behind your back, So what I'm saying is that, and guess what? A lot of times people don't mean to be evil or cruel. It's just not in them to know anything other than to be discombobulated like that. And to treat people like they've been treated and as opposed to how they should treat people. And so we never know. People on the edge, talking about driving on the highway and stuff and road rage. Get on out the way, you got to be rooted. You got to be rooted in the Word to be able to deal with everything you hear. So I say to the Black brothers that there were a couple of times when I thought suicidal thoughts. I remember when I had a nervous breakdown. I remember this feeling abandoned by people. Always criticized and always, because of difference. I remember being told, tone down my praise as I was praising the Lord in church. I just remember so much, right? But also, like I said earlier, I remember people like Oscar Coward, who baked me a cake. You know what I'm saying? Saw something in me and said this, and so many other people along the journey. The thing that I tell people that made the difference for me was being rooted in the Lord and being connected to people of the Lord, of faith. That made the difference. It makes the difference. And there's so many people today being brought up and they're coming up and they don't know nothing but church. Church what? And Sunday is a relaxed day. Sunday is a day to go to the beach or whatever, and and whatever day you choose. But I'm just saying there is no reverencing God or taking time to see what does this manual say for me. And so I say to all brothers, I say to everyone, the thing that keeps me pressing on and pushing on when physically you don't feel like it or emotionally you feel some kind of way is because I know that Romans 8:28, all things are working together for my good. And I also know that if I press toward the mark, the prize of the high calling, which is in Christ Jesus, that I can do all things through Christ, not of myself. And I also know that in my weakness, his strength is made perfect. And these are not things that I just say, but these are things that I have experienced. I was preaching it and teaching it at first, and then I had to stand on that word. I ain't know nothing else to stand on. I was standing on that word. I said, oh, it works. And so then when you hear me holler in church, it's because it works, man. I'm telling y'all, this word works. So I bless God for that. Listen, this is the last thing tonight, and this right here is going to First of all, I want to say thank y'all so much for tonight. So much for tonight. So much for tonight. This has been good. And don't be surprised if we call you back on next season. We're wrapping up season 1 next week. We had a couple of things we was trying to do after this talk here. I'm gonna try to get some brothers to talk, brothers to talk. You know, we've heard from the sisters tonight. That would be an awesome way. Talking to Mark Peterson, my producer, for us to end the season off next week with having brothers to talk. Whether they are entrepreneurs and authors or whatever, they brought, you know, they come together, but they share their perspective and how they feel that another brother, or that we all as brothers, can make it better and make our life better. You know, the better us, the better life that we can embrace. So if y'all know of any brothers, please let me know, sisters. You know, brothers who don't mind, you know, sharing. So before we leave tonight, I got to put it on y'all. The spotlight is on y'all. It's been on the brothers. It's on y'all, ladies. Okay, y'all ready? I need for you to tell me something that you've heard a brother say. The brothers are going to appreciate me giving you this question. Tell me something that you've heard a brother say to you or to another woman that upsets him about Black sisters. And then the flip side of that, what uplifts him that comes from the Black woman. So what has he said to you, or to you just heard? Maybe it could have been your brother or your buddy talk about, you know, women, Black sisters, that upsets him about the Black sister. And then the flip side of that, what uplifts him from the Black sister. And so we're gonna take first none other than the Queen herself, Queen Radiance.
So
Be honest, keep it real.
have I ever been anything other than
Nothing but.
Have
anybody ever told you it was too real?
Have they? I know you know the answer to that. Have they? So in this is something that actually bothers me a lot, right? Because it's not necessarily people close to me. There are no guys close to me that says these things. However, on social media, it's been a very strong push or prevalent thing of bad mouthing Black women, just to say the least. But mostly what it is that they say, you know, we're too independent. We want to be the man.
Wait a minute. Let me stop you. You're not understanding the question.
You said what?
The question is, we talked about a brother. The question is, what has a brother said upsets him that comes from the Black woman?
Like, what does she say, or characteristics of her?
Yeah, what about the Black woman upsets him?
These are the things they say. She's too independent. Okay. She thinks she wears the pants, and these are the things they say.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
Okay.
He's upset.
So, it's not a joke. They really are like, they bash Black women for being strong and independent. And it's like they don't even realize that it's not by choice, it's by force. But that's another conversation. Either way, that is something that they say that upsets them about Black women. Now, I've never, something that Black men or men say that they appreciate that I don't want to say I necessarily heard them say it, but I can see, like in my family, they appreciate the support, the backbone, their ability to be there when no one else is there. And actually, I can say I have heard people say that.
You better. I know. I done said it to you.
But men
working with these productions and stuff.
You're right. You have. I have heard it. But men don't always verbally express themselves, but you can see the gratitude in a man's face when he has someone, particularly a woman, in that position for him.
Wow. And it's good when it's that woman, that right woman who can see, like you say, the man may not articulate it, but she sees that he appreciates it, and then that becomes enough for her or whatever. 5 Love Languages is something else we talk about on another day. A book that a must read for everybody. But thank you for that. Some brother appreciates that you shared that. But I just gotta this thing about the woman independent. Him being upset by that. Is he upset because she's independent and she's a helpmeet and that she's making it, or is he upset because of how she projects it?
For my perspective, right, I see it as more of we're in a society where instant gratification is the norm. So when a woman has standards or she's strong and independent by herself, it causes the man to raise and elevate himself to be matched with her. And the guys don't necessarily want to do that. You know what I mean? It's like, and I'm not trying to say anything bad, but it's just like they feel like I shouldn't have to, you should just let me be in the place of control just because I am the man. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to let you lead me off a bridge. So if you want to lead me, you have to show me that you are capable of guiding me on the right path.
All right, Queen.
Come on, Cletus.
Period, Pooh.
I mean, I will follow. And the honest truth is, most Black women that I know have no problem. People have problem with the word being of submissive, but if you just change it to follow or listening, you know what I mean? Black women don't have a problem with doing that. However, Black women also are capable of seeing the path we're going and saying, maybe we need a detour. Because you're not going to ruin what I got going on just to satisfy your ego.
That's part of being that help me, right?
Yes, exactly.
Amen.
Exactly.
That's word right there. That's why I said, is it the way she's projecting it, or is it because there's something wrong with the guy who has a problem with help? Now it's something even if your boy or your girl, whatever, took you out, I paid for this last time, I paid for this, I got it, and I pay, and so they are projecting like they're the one who got it all, or they, as opposed to just not being silent, not being a silent partner, but just, holding you up,
Right.
without, and so that's pretty much what you, I got you, what you're saying. I want to say Jason for nice. The, Elisa?
I do have one friend and he expresses how when just approaching a woman to say hello, how they'll have an attitude. Just having an attitude because they're speaking. So that's one of his pet peeves, women with bad attitudes. I'm just saying hello. She's just going off.
Amen.
Well, how you doing? How you think I'm okay. And then on the flip side, what he appreciates is a woman who will speak, so it just don't kind of go hand. He don't like them when they're just with attitude, but he appreciates a woman who is nice, who seems appreciative. So Yeah.
You say who seems appreciative? What was the
Yeah,
last word?
because he once told me he was dating a girl and he bought her something. She was like, well, why couldn't get me this? I was like, but it was thought of it. I was like, okay. And see, I'm old school. No one has to do anything for me. So whatever something you get, I'm okay with, you know. But
Yes.
I guess, you know, all women are different. But she wasn't satisfied. She
You know,
Oh, my Lord Jesus.
I mean, the thought
oh
does,
Lord.
let me tell you, the thought does count. Let me tell you something about a guy. A guy wants to be appreciated. A guy, but you know, y'all have heard it before. They say, "Oh, baby, look how you took out that trash can. Nobody take trash out like that." Oh, and you put the bag in it. You know,
Y'all just smile ear to ear. I did that. I did that.
I put it right back in the same spot too.
Baby, you got some more trash? You need some more trash taken out?
Listen, but appreciation to a brother goes a long way. If he's a good brother, if he's a good
Yes.
brother and he is appreciated, he feels like a king, you know. I'm telling you, man, and that's and you want a woman to appreciate what you've done and understand the thought. Baby, I thought about you though. I thought about you. Jason, 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 what has the brother said and that makes him upset about the sisters and then vice versa, the upside?
Well, I'll say this. Things that I hear men say is that the Black woman is critical. She's very
what now?
critical. She's critical. Critical. And what I find, and this is something that I learned in esthetician school, and I went to college, I did all the 4-year degree and everything. But one thing that I learned the first day in esthetician school was that when you allow a person to speak long enough, they tend to project the things that they feel about themselves onto you. And so I hear a lot of Black men constantly say that Black women are critical, and I believe that it's in part due that they are constantly being criticized, but that women, Black women in particular, we understand that hope is not a strategy and that it must get done, and it requires a way of thinking, and it requires a way of addressing an issue to overcome any obstacle, because we know that giving up is just simply not an option. And so that's one thing that I hear Black men say. And the one thing that I believe that Black men applaud Black women for is our ability to not say no. No, let me change it around. Our ability to say no because either our loved ones don't need it, but they also recognize that we're not willing to accept no because we're not willing to go out and go get it, if that makes sense. No is just simply an option. And if we give no as an option, it's understood. That doesn't have to be explained. But no, simply because we're not willing to go get it, will never be on the table. So that's my thought on that.
So now with that no, you're saying that that's the part that he says he appreciates about a woman, that uplifts him?
It is, because what he knows is that she's a strategic thinker. Any obstacle that's placed in front of a Black woman, she embraces the obstacle as an opportunity to either go over it, go through it, go under it, go around it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. We will get it done. And we won't say no because we're tired. We won't say no because the resource is not available. We say no / not yet, we strategize, we get everything, our ducks in a row, we attack it, and we get it done. So that's it.
Wow. 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 Yep, Lord gonna bless me with that kind of woman. Jesus, hallelujah, glory be to God. Yeah. Put it out there in the atmosphere.
Keep hope alive.
Gotta put it out there. Okay.
Speak it.
But you know, I mean, that sums up everything that y'all was saying as it relates to, you know, the support, you know, the appreciate, you know, but definitely that's rooted in the word, you know, that she's not being necessarily led by her emotions, but that her emotions only help facilitate where her faith is in the word. If I can, you know, like, you know, her, everything about her, she's rooted in the word, but her emotions just allow her to be compassionate enough, you know, to care enough to make a difference, as you said, to keep pressing, keep pushing. And it's not because of just it doesn't stop at her emotions, but it stops at her faith. It's rooted in her faith. And so she's just emotional about moving in that, because a lot of guys talk about, you know, we were talking about women just emotional, whatever, you know. There's a lot of maturation that's been spoken here tonight out of you all. It's because of your experience, your personal experiences, and it's also because in your years, not saying you're old, but your years and your and where you are in the Lord. Just listening to you, you can hear that. You can hear that. You all are different kind of women expressing your views and your perspective about the Black brother, you know, and not yet tonight. We about to sign off, but not yet tonight have I seen anybody snap their finger and nobody twist the neck. You know, but y'all been able. But you know what I'm saying? Don't you twist? Don't do it. Don't do it. No, y'all got this other way. What's the other way? Some Black women gonna say, "Do not hear what I."
What we not gonna do?
What we
I know. What? I know, right?
Remember, no. Now you might do that with the Black boy, but not the Black man.
Hey. What we not gonna do?
All right, there, Queen.
Drive me off a bridge. See, that's the only time it come up.
I'm with you, Queen. Yes, Queen. Yes.
As long as you ain't trying to take me off the cliff, I'm good.
Hey.
And Jason said, and as long as you put your money in the right place,
hey, we good. We are good.
Oh, there you go.
We're good. We're all good. Do you understand? All facts. We're good. We're good.
Listen, y'all. I love y'all so much. I'm so humble. I appreciate y'all. I really believe. I said this last week. I thought it was, but Mark, I'm telling you, man, this right here in days to come is going to be the most watched episode from season 1. I really believe it. And then even when the little clip bites, we're gonna have to take little clip bites of this out, you know, so people can, you know, because all of us can have that ADD sometimes, whatever, attention, you know. And we're like, wait a minute, it's 7 minutes. What? That's too long. You know, don't talk about an hour.
Reel them in. You gotta reel them in.
Don't talk about an hour plus. So we gotta put some little bait. We're gonna take some of these clips and put some baits out there, whatever, just enough, whatever. I want to see what else they said in that, you know. Listen, any last words that you all want to say, ladies? But first of all, I want to say that, and Jason, I got to say this to you. God used you tonight to really minister to me. I'm not gonna talk too long on it. To encourage me. The word of God said, "Let your light so shine so that men can see your good works and glorify their Father which is in heaven." I give God glory for all of that, for everything. But you really impact me greatly tonight. You bless me. I will never forget. And I asked God to seal those words within me. And even what was echoed, you know, from Oscar and those of you, what builds my confidence also is when I try to do, because sometimes I may say this invite may go out to 10 people or 20 people, right? But it's those three, like you all, who say, I'm with you, I got you. When I'm doing something and I call Queen. And and she say, the first time I called her Queen, like she's Queen, you know. But and she said, I got it. I'm with you. Just tell me what I'm you know. And I said, thank you, God. You know, working on music right now, able to call on Sister Lisa. That stuff builds your confidence. So it's not that I don't have people attacking it or criticizing it, but you spoke to all of that. It is because of those individuals like you who said what you said. You know, the ones, and that's what we as Black men and as a people got to focus on. Not all those other voices, but the voice of the right one that's feeding into us. And all this week, God gave me a word from Ezekiel the 37th. And when he put his spirit, put Ezekiel in the midst of a valley full of dry bones, a situation that looked kind of dead, it don't look like it could be changed or nothing could shift. All throughout the Bible, there was two that he would put together. But now there's only one voice that Ezekiel needed to hear. And that was the voice of God. And that's why he was able to look at that big situation that looked deserted, that looked desolate, that looked like it was dead, and be able to speak life to it and move in it. But had one person been there, probably been like, you sure? You know? So thank you all for being a part of this tonight, because that has boosted and encouraged me. You know, I actually share it and subscribe it. I thank God so much for Mark Peterson, my frat brother, y'all. I'm telling you, when I went to him about this, you know, to help make this happen, you know, and take place, you know, and something you said, Jason, too. Like I say, you said a whole lot. That was God. I know it was God. What you do, you can't do for the applause. You can't do it for the numbers. You can't do it for the likes. You can't do it. You got to do it because he called me to do it. And I don't know if what I'm doing today is really for somebody 5 years later or a month later, whatever it is. But I just got to do what I'm supposed to do today and what I was told to do, you know? And that, you say you love Tyler Perry? Tyler Perry did the same thing. When it wasn't hollering, nobody showing up. 300 theater, it was 30 people there, but he kept doing it. And look what happens, you know? And just for you all to know, y'all made mention of Daddy's Little Girls. I'm in Daddy's Little Girl as an extra. I'm on the back row. I have on a lime, black and green jacket, bald head. And the way I knew that they had me in the screen is because they had they said cut. They said cut. And then they came and they wiped my head because they said my head was shining in the camera. And that was God giving me confirmation. You in the camera, you in the screen. I see. Listen, and I was sitting behind Idris. Idris was on the end, and I was like a couple rows behind him. And so, but I messed up.
Yes.
I messed up. Go and look back at it. At first, you see me down here in this screen. I'm sitting down, but then I got happy in the scene, and I stood up, and then all you can see is just right here. So I tell people, I said, you got to go back and look at the first part. You'll see me sitting.
Queen, you know what? You done ran out, Queen. You done ran out, Queen. Yo.
But listen, my co-host, in the closing words, Jason?
Well, I just want to say I enjoyed sharing the evening with you, Pastor Gitron and Queen Radiance and Elisa, and as well as Mr. Oscar Coward, I believe that's his name, Mr. Peterson. I just want to say thank you. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed, just listening to everyone's perspective, because when you've already made a decision that you know everything in life, you're already mentally dying. You know, so I just want to say thank you, because this opportunity has definitely enlightened me. And I just say, keep up the outstanding work. Pastor Gidron, because the best is simply yet to come. You're only simply a seedling of the tree that you will soon to become. So keep that in your spirit. Now, I done told you.
This girl been preaching tonight. She been preaching tonight, y'all. Who else got? I done messed up the order. I don't know what order we're in. Who else got something to say? Oh, I'm gonna tell your mama on you, Jason. I'll say she. Who else? Closing words. Come on now.
I'll say something. First of all, we know that God has a purpose and a plan, each and every one of us. My heart's desire for the children of God is to rest. And that is an acronym. R is to release. Whatever is bothering you, you release it to God. E is to be at ease, because once you release, you are at ease. Once you're at ease, and then be still. And once you're still, you can trust God. Rest, to release, to be at ease, to then be still, to trust God will.
Coach
My
us up.
God.
Coach us up.
Amen.
So beautiful, so beautiful. And when she has Songbird as her tag, but I call her nothing less than that because we're working on some songs right now, whatever. And God has trusted her voice to be able to carry some of these, and even with some obstacles that's been coming in the way, she, I'm getting challenged on this, and I just wish I could do some of that stuff. I would have to depend on somebody sometimes. You know how it is sometimes. You're like, I gotta wait on them to do that, so this person wait, but in God's time, right? And so
it's rest.
I thank God, I thank God, but no, I'm resting in the fact that I trust Him.
Right.
You said that before. I'm resting in the fact that I trust Him, that in His time, man.
Yes.
Queen, you already gave your words?
I did not. I want to say,
Queen, you gave your words. You was first.
Can you hear me?
Hello?
He is frozen.
Hello?
Yeah,
Is it frozen?
No, you're not.
Can you hear me?
I hear you. Can you hear me?
Queen, can you hear me?
He can't hear you, Queen. Go ahead. He can't hear you.
Yeah.
Can you hear me, Elisa?
I can hear you. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
I can hear.
So I can take over the show? I'm just kidding. I'm glad I accepted the invite. I appreciate all the knowledge that I got in this. Hearing you ladies speak, hearing the men's perspective as well on some things. But closing words for me, I just want to let Black men know that we love you, you're appreciated, you're valuable, and we see you. Like, I think a lot of times Black men don't think that, well, they do think that they are invisible, but you're very visible and you're very valuable to us. So those are my closing words. Is the host or is it our show?
Uh-oh, it's our show.
Okay. Oh, wait, the other host on there, I think.
Ladies.
All right, I'm here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm here.
Hey, Oscar.
Okay, I'm here as well. It seems Gidron has some technical difficulties, but I think he's coming back right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't come.
We were almost in there, ladies. We almost took over.
All right, Gidron's still muted. He's trying to say something. I can see him. Turn your mic on, Gidron. Turn your mic on. All right. Well, due to these difficulties, I'm gonna go ahead and take us out. I thank everyone for participating tonight. I love the discussion. Ladies, thank you. We appreciate you. In the mortal words of James Brown, this is a man's world, but it wouldn't be a thing without a woman or a girl.
Y'all hear me?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay. Gidron, you're still muted. Well,
He
we're
came
going to go
in
ahead
for
and
a
close the
second.
show out. And again, I thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, and you're welcome.
Thank you. Have a great night.
Amen.
Thank you.
See y'all on the next time. On
See you the next time.
Amen.
Night,
You all have a
ladies.
good
Okay.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Mark. Mark.
Oh yeah.
Mark.
Black Brothers View. Black Brothers View. DL gets rhymes. Black Brothers View. Black Brothers View. Black
Mark.
Brothers View. Give me one live Facebook. YouTube. Black Brothers View. Black Brothers View.
Mark.
DL gets rhymes. Black Brothers View. Black Brothers View. Black Brothers View. You better stay tuned to Black Brothers View. Black brothers helping each other, sharing their views from cover to cover. Eclectic topics, yeah, different perspectives. Keep it in poppin', always respect it. Facebook, YouTube, Friday nights at 9. We sharing and learning, yeah. We transforming minds. Tune in, share, like, and subscribe. Inspiration and motivation coming to your live. Friday nights with BBB is the place to be. Party with the brothers. Yeah, where the mission's free. Real talk about everything from A to Z. Black brothers make a difference in the community. You heard that this is a man's world, but there wouldn't be nothing without a woman or a girl. So every now and then, we invite the man. This BBB's voice of the black man. Black Brothers View. Black Brothers View. DL gets rhymes. Black Brothers View. Black Brothers View. Black Brothers View. Yeah, we going live Facebook and YouTube. Black Brothers View. Black Brothers View. DL gets